You don't have to spend thousands to fix the single biggest problem with the Nikon ZR for solo creators. Let me show you how to do that and at the same time fix the second biggest problem. One of the things that makes the Nikon ZR fantastic cameras for solo creators is the massive screen. When I compare this to my Sony screen on my old camera, it's tiny. This screen is big and bright and beautiful. And one of the nice features of the Nikon ZR is you can turn on waveform monitoring, and this gives you a great way to monitor and judge your exposure. And this is one of the great things about this camera. So let's talk about the biggest problem for solo creators. If, as I am doing now, I'm sitting not too far away from that camera, you can see that I'm just about an arm's length away. But what happens when we move the camera back? You might want to do this if you're filming further away, or if you're trying to create really cinematic looking vlogs with you standing on a ridge line or a mountain peak or whatever it might be. I'm going to move the camera further away, and as we move further back, I'm going to increase the focal length. I've got a really nice lens on this at the minute. It's the 24-120. So let's go and reframe the shot. Hopefully I will be in the right place. And that kind of brings us to the first problem with the Nikon ZR. So I'm going to get back into the shot here. The screen on the Nikon ZR is all the way over there now, and I can still see it because it's so big and beautiful, but I could move the camera even further back and zoom in even more. And at that point, it's going to get really hard to see the exposure tools on screen and know if A, I'm exposed properly, and B, know if my framing's good, if my head is accidentally chopped off of the frame. So let's get to why this is a problem in the first place. I'm going to leave you all the way over there, and I'm going to connect to the camera using Nikon's own app, the Snap Bridge app. Now I've got the app connected, I can check my framing, move around, start and stop recording. But if you've ever used the Sony monitor and control app, you'll know how limited this Nikon app is compared to the Sony app. There's no zebras, there's no waveform, there's no false color, and it's extremely limited. And for solo creators who are often away from their camera, you don't want to have to keep going backwards and forwards to the camera just to check your framing, because you can't check your framing if you're not sitting right here. So let's go and fix it. You could go and spend thousands of dollars on some kind of HDMI wireless transmission and screen that you can use back there, but there's a much cheaper option. But here's the thing, you are going to need a cheap device like this in order to get the HDMI signal. This one is from Axoon, and I'll put a link to it in the description. Plug this cable into the HDMI output port on the ZR, and this USB cable goes into your phone. When it's all set up, it looks something like this, and it basically turns your phone into an external monitor, which you can see the giant size of the built-in screen on the ZR is not that much different from this iPhone's screen. But how does this actually help us? Especially as solo creators, we might be further away from the camera. Unfortunately, the app on the Axoon is basically just designed to sit on top of the camera there. It's not designed to transmit wirelessly to another device. But here's the thing, I managed to work out how to get a pretty nice fix for this problem, which kind of gives us the best of both worlds, and it's also going to allow us to access or fix that second problem on the Nikon ZR. You might have a second phone that you want to transmit to, or a computer or an iPad. I'm going to show you how to set it up on the iPad, because there's one extra step that you need to take to make this work. If you're using an iPhone, you can simply use the screen mirroring here and then cast your screen to your Mac, whether that be a MacBook or a Mac desktop. But unfortunately, Apple doesn't allow other iPhones and iPads to act as AirPlay receivers. So here's the fix. Download an app that will act as a remote wireless transmitter. I'm using the Power Mirror app here. This is a free app for basic functionality. Install the same app on your iPad and open it up, and then on your phone tap Local Cast. You should see your iPad show up. Head all the way back down here and use the iPad screen on my lap to check my framing, and you can see that this framing is completely off, missing half of my head. Now I can just put the iPad somewhere where I can see it, head back to the camera, adjust my framing, and now I don't have to rely on that screen all the way down there showing me what's happening, because I can see it on the iPad down here. But that's not all. We can also now fix the second problem of the Nikon ZR. We'll have to just come a bit closer, tap on the screen. Now we have false color being transmitted wirelessly to the iPad screen. Now I can use false color to set my exposure, even though the Nikon ZR doesn't have false color. Please subscribe, I'd really appreciate that, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. I'll put a link to this Axoon product down in the description. I'm Jason Roberts, and bye.